We hear a lot about the dark web, but do you ever wonder how deep that rabbit hole actually goes? You guys would probably be surprised by all the insane stuff that goes down on the deeper parts of the internet, and we're going to go over some of it today. Welcome to Facts, and today we're going to be going over some insane dark web facts. And just as a disclaimer here, I don't recommend you go to these websites that we are going to be discussing in this video, but hopefully you find some of these facts informative, and maybe we show you some things that you didn't know about the dark web. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. First of all, how much of the internet do you think you see on a day-to-day basis? Let me know in the comment section. I'll give you a second to think about it. Just try to think of a percentage that represents the internet that you yourself are familiar with and use every day. Did you guess 4%? Maybe, because if so, you would be right. According to recent estimates, the normal day-to-day internet only makes up 4% of the actual entire internet, which is mind-blowing. The rest of the content on the web, 96% of it, falls into the category of either the deep web or the dark web. So there is a lot out there, far more than you would actually probably be aware of already. But that, my friends, is just the beginning, because we haven't even started talking about what is actually in that 96%. So now we've talked about what percentage of the entire internet falls into the category of deep or dark web, but just how much space is that? Well, it's definitely grown since the beginning of the internet, obviously, and a study was conducted in 2001 at the University of California at Berkeley, which found that the deep web consisted of approximately 7.5 petabytes. For those that don't know what that is, 1 petabyte equates to approximately 1 million gigabytes. And just in case that didn't freak you guys out enough, there was another study conducted just 2 years later in 2003 that estimated that the deep dark web has grown to over this is crazy, 91,000 petabytes, or 91, I don't even know, billion gigabytes. It's a lot. It was also estimated in 2001 that there was around 1 billion indexed pages on the internet, but it was found 2 years later in 2003 that there was over 550 billion pages indexed in the deep dark web. So if there is that much stuff on the deep dark web, why haven't you seen any of it? Well, that's because in order to access this part of the internet, you need to have access to the Onion router, which is commonly referred to as the Tor, or the TOR. The Tor is a network of nodes that actually masks your IP address and protects your identity while you're browsing this specific area of the internet, as much of it is illegal and can get you in trouble if you get caught over there on it. Not to mention all of the hackers who hang out in the dark web that would gladly snatch your information up if it were not protected. Just imagine a dark alley, okay, in a big city at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's not a place you want to walk down. Now, we spoke about the Tor, and although the point of it is to protect the browser's identity, it really doesn't do that in many cases, which makes the dark web all the more interesting and scary. One anonymous Reddit user wrote one time that they had downloaded the Tor in order to start looking around the dark web and see for themselves what it's actually like down there. But within 20 minutes of browsing, guess what? They got a phone call from a hidden number. They answered the call, but on the other end, it was silent and hung up after 10 seconds. This freaked out the Reddit user enough to immediately delete Tor and never return to this part of the internet. It was never revealed if this silent call led to anything or anybody or who called them, but just imagine. You go download this, you don't really know what you're doing. You go surf a couple sites on the dark web, and all of a sudden you get an anonymous phone call. Another Reddit user had a very similar experience while browsing the dark web. After downloading Tor once again and starting to look around, he found himself watching a video, which he posted a comment on and started a discussion with some of the other users, like you normally would do on the internet, right? Engage with other people. However, things got very weird when one of the replies read, "This is very astute of you, Mr." and then quoted his last name. According to him, he had not put his last name anywhere during his time browsing, and his last name was not a common one. He immediately got off, and according to him, did not go on the internet at all for an entire week. Another Reddit user had a similar experience, although a much creepier degree to it. He had been using Tor and browsing random sites, talking to random people, and he logged off to go get some lunch at Five Guys. Cool, a fantastic burger chain if you never tried it. When he got back home, fired Tor back up, someone had sent him a picture of himself eating at Five Guys just a few hours earlier. That would be it for me. I would be done completely. As I'm sure plenty of you have already assumed, you can buy plenty of illegal goods throughout the right sites on the dark web. There is a board where anonymous hackers and sellers will post and sell various credit cards that they have either stolen or they have copied. Another site is dedicated to selling fake American passports, which cost around 700 euros each, or about $970 US. You can also use the dark web to buy pure organic weed from Europe, or illegal ballistic weapons, or explosives. One anonymous user also took screenshots of a page that was selling the child spirits from miscarriages and abortions. That is disgusting. Now, obviously, you don't pay for these things with real money or cards unless you're an idiot. Rather, everything bought or sold over the dark web is exchanged for Bitcoin. And if you want to know about Bitcoin, my video yesterday tells you all about it. A few Reddit users were discussing the strange things they found on the dark web, and apparently there are a lot of people who are just using it as the regular internet without anything sketchy to speak of. One user reported that once he found a German man who had just been selling pretzels. They weren't drugged or laced or anything, and they were just plain old pretzels. Another Reddit user mentioned that he had a similar experience where he found a man selling carrots. No weird stuff here, just plain old-fashioned carrots. One more user told a story of where they purchased mind-blowing experiences in 2013, but received a dustbuster. Well, first of all, what were you thinking when I said mind-blowing experience? And second of all, why would you purchase anything on the dark web anyway? Give them an address to ship it to you. That's scary. Now, you may think everyone on the dark web is a criminal who just wants to take your money and ruin your life just for the hell of it. And that's not really the case at all, though in many countries where journalism and free speech are banned, people with internet access will use the dark web to communicate without being tracked down by the government. However, you need to be careful when you're on the dark web, even if you're using it for good intentions, and never, for the love of God, ever hit the random button. The random button will take you to a random page through Tor, and there are countless horror stories of what people saw after clicking this button. One Reddit user told a story of when he hit the random button, he got a page that took a long time to load, and when it finally finished loading, it was just a blank screen that flashed, "You better start running," in big black letters. Perhaps the most disturbing thing that I've ever heard from the dark web was a cooking site that had disturbingly accurate instructions on how to cook a human woman. The site was not a joke either. It was extremely accurate in its cuts and temperatures and adjustments that had to be made for different body and skin types, and even went into detail about how to keep that woman alive for as long as possible as they were being cooked. Another extremely strange but slightly less disturbing page was on a site selling comic books, but with a very strange addiction twist. The last page of each book was a sheet of pure LSD. And perhaps yet the strangest thing on the web is the fact that it still exists today and it's still thriving, despite all of the evil things that happen there. You would think that the government would go in and shut it down, but it's actually quite the opposite. As it turns out, Tor is sponsored by the United States Department of State Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, as well as the Ford Foundation, and the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, and tons of other government groups and organizations. Simply put here, people, the government is fully aware of all the stuff going around the dark web, and they have no plans to stop it from happening. And if you ask me, that's perhaps the scariest thing on this entire video. Think back to all the crazy stuff we've talked about in the video so far, and now think about the fact that the U.S. government actually sponsors the services that make all of this possible. And there you have some very, very strange dark web facts that I hope you guys found informative. If you've ever had any experiences in the dark or the deep web, definitely let us know in the comment section below. And we can do facts videos on anything, people, product, places. It doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want to see, you're more than welcome to comment below. And who knows, it could end up being a video on the channel. Thank you for stopping by Facts. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new video. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter.